Yes, and good morning. We're live here, and we are at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, commissioning of the Dominica, China Agriculture Science Complex building. Com- And presently, we are waiting for things to get started here. And as we are doing so, we see the officials. As we can see, the officials are now coming in, and we are waiting for things to get started. And like I was saying, we are at the commissioning of the Dominica China Agriculture Science Complex building. Just to give you an overview of what to expect, our chairperson is going to be Miss Karen Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet. Of course, we are awaiting the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. We're going to have the national anthem of Dominica as well as the national anthem of China. And then an invocation by Father Paul Onochi Obiora. And we are expecting some welcoming remarks from Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, and the Parliamentary Representative for the Portsmouth constituency. After which we expect some remarks from His Excellency Chu Maoming, who is the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, with more remarks coming from the Honorable Roland Roy, who is the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. We are also expecting some entertainment by the cultural performance by the Paybush Drummers, and then an address by the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and who is also the Minister for Investment and Governance. After which, we'll be closing off the ceremony here with some closing remarks from Mr. Ryan Ansam, who is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. And then we'll get to the grand event, which will be the unveiling of the sign and ribbon cutting and the blessing tour of the facility. So again, if you're now tuning in, we are now live at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, commissioning of the Dominica China Agriculture Science Complex building. We are at the North Station, or the North Agricultural Station, that is 1 mile in Portsmouth here. We're just waiting for the official beginning of this program. Of course, this will kick off as we expect the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. And as I stated before, the list of activities we expect to commence here. We see we have our speaker here on the podium, just organizing herself to get things ready and get things in order. As we can clearly see, a lot of progress is being done here in the agricultural sector in Dominica, and we are seeing some of the fruits here being, yes, I believe we are ready to begin with some welcoming remarks from Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, and Parliamentary Representative for the Portsmouth constituency. But of course, the chairperson is Miss Karen Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet. And we've now seen the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit, as he's now entered into the vicinity here, the building. This will, I believe, kick off the official organization of the programming, or the official transitioning into the event here. Of course, just to run by what to expect here this morning. We are expecting the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister, which just happened here. Of course, then we will ensue into the national anthem of Dominica as well as the national anthem of China, with a special invocation from Father Paul Onochi Obiora, some welcoming remarks from Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, with some remarks expected to come afterwards or ensuing after by His Excellency Chu Maoming, who is the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, with some remarks from the Honorable Roland Roy, who is the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, cultural performances as well from the Paybush drummers. Then an address from the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister for Investment and Governance. And then we'll be closing off this program here with some closing remarks from Mr. Ryan Ansam, who is the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. So again, a special welcome to all the viewers and listeners to DBS Radio, as well as our social media, as we are at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, commissioning of the Dominica, China Agriculture Science Complex building. Of course, it is located at the North Agricultural Station, 1 mile. But everyone is getting seated and getting organized so that this official commissioning of the Dominica China Agriculture Science Complex building can get on the way here. We see lots of smiles, we see lots of anticipation. We see all the media houses
Please stand for the arrival of Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Get things started off.
Please remain standing for the national anthems of the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica and Mrs. Skerrit, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Roland Royer, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, and Parliamentary Representative for the Portsmouth constituency, other honorable members of Cabinet, Your Excellency Xu Maoming, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, other Permanent Secretaries, China J. Zuba Group, Company Limited, Father Paul Obiera, other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to the commissioning of the China Aid Agriculture Science Complex building. We are here at the 1 mile to open and commission the tissue culture plant as we know it And as it is named this morning, the Dominica China Agriculture Complex, Science Complex building. I know it's a little bit warm this morning, but we hope that you will enjoy and be comfortable at this ceremony. I would like to invite Father Paul Obiera at this time to open us in prayer. Father Paul.
May we stand in honor and appreciation to our one God, the creator of heaven and earth. Foremostly, we thank God Almighty, the creator, who made man in his own image and likeness. God the Father created us in love. God the Son came and redeemed us in love. God the Holy Spirit sanctifies. May he come now to sanctify Dominica and Chinese people and this house, this edifice, this complex. We need his presence. May God, who will be glorified in our hearts with one voice in a noble way through the Holy Spirit, may we live in harmony and in fellowship with Jesus, who came to dwell among us. When Christ took flesh in the Blessed Virgin Mary, he made his home with us. Let us now pray that he will enter this complex. Whom we are here to bless, may he enter there first, sanctify and purify. May he always hear us in our prayers with one voice. Brothers and sisters, listen to the word of God, where we take our authority. Luke chapter 10, verse 5 to 9. The Lord said to the 72, into whatever house and town you enter, first say, peace be to this household. If a peaceful person lives there, your peace will rest upon him. But if not, it will return to you. Stay in the same house, eat and drink, for the laborer deserves his payment. Do not move about from one house to the other. Wherever town you enter and they welcome you, eat whatever is set before you, cure the sick. The kingdom of God is here already, you will tell them. I want the response, all of us, to say, happy are those who fear the Lord. Happy are those who fear the Lord. Happy the man who fears the Lord, who greatly delights in his command. His prosperity shall be mighty upon the earth. The upright generation shall be blessed. Happy the man who fears the Lord. Wealth and riches shall be in his house. His generation shall endure forever. And down through the darkness, a light for the upright. He is gracious and merciful to the just. Happy the man who fears the Lord. Well for the man who is gracious in the land, who conducts his affairs with justice. He shall never be moved. The just man shall be everlasting remembered. We respond, happy the man who fears the Lord. An evil report he shall not fear. His heart shall be firm, trusting in the Lord. He will stand firm in time of trial. He shall not fear to look down upon his foes. We respond, happy the man who fears the Lord. Lavishly he gives to the poor. His graciousness shall endure forever. His bond shall exalt in glory. We respond, happy the man who fears the Lord. Father Almighty, O God unconquerable, invisible King, victor ever glorious, you hold in check in forces bent on dominating us. You overcome the clutch of the raging enemies. Your power you beat down the wicked foe. Humbly and fearfully do we stand in adoration for the wonder you have done here, for using this government to build this edifice and the collaboration of the Chinese and the Dominican. May this have used them as an instrument. May you never cease to send your holy angels to enter this edifice first, bless it, sanctify it, purify it, and bring peace in all the nations, especially between these two nations, the Dominica and Chinese, and the good work that they do. Make use of us in your work of building the nation, peace and unity, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much, Father Obiera, for this invocation. To welcome you to this ceremony this morning and to the town of Portsmouth, I would like to invite Honorable Fenella Wenham Shepherd, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Parliamentary Representative for the Portsmouth constituency.
Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and Mrs. Skerrit, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Honorable Roland Royer, other honorable members of Cabinet, Your Excellency Chu Moming, Ms. Karen Prevost, Mr. Ryan Anselm, other permanent secretaries, China Je Juba, Group Company Limited, Father Paul, other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. It is with pleasure that I greet you again this morning and welcome you to the commissioning of the China Dominica Agriculture Science Complex building, popularly known as the Tissue Culture Lab. Let me welcome you and all of you to the industrious and picturesque Portsmouth. It is a fine working and social space, full of skillful people. The very air of Portsmouth suggests in its coolness, the calm and effortlessness with which we extend our kindness and best wishes to visit and gather for any event. This today is no exception. Yes, it is my responsibility today to welcome you, and more importantly, to remind you of the responsibilities and the possibilities, rather, that from this modern agricultural facility. My colleague from the Kalinago territory usually speaks intriguingly about the Kalinago space. Today, I wish to welcome you to this agricultural space at 1 Mile in Portsmouth. What does this agricultural space entail? Certainly it includes you and I, not just for today, but for the rest of our lives. Within such a space, not only do we engage tissues and what will emerge from them, we integrate lives, friendships, and some may say that we develop relations with all that feeds the tissue, including soil, water, various forms of soil life, sunlight, moonlight, and more. An agricultural space is about forging relations to, with all that is around us, keeping in mind that we are a waterland and a water people. Evidently, food security is not just about planting crops and vegetables. It certainly requires a space that is not only in the ground. That space involves high-tech machinery and equipment that does the work faster and can hold more. Essentially, producing crops from media, and that's not belonging to radio or television, by the way. But what I dub as parts of a plant to make more plants. Okay. This means that added to our sacred land's capacity for natural production, we have more crops in quicker time. Farmers will harvest earlier, and we will eat and feed others. Indeed, the act of feeding is sacred. Not only will we feed our population, but the wider Caribbean and those further afield. In fact, this facility will have the capability to ship what it produces to other parts of the Caribbean. While we adopt the technology allowing us to do this, we need to keep in mind that Dominica is remembered in many circles as the breadbasket of the Caribbean. Let us revisit that idea and consider what it means as we seek to advance agriculture to $700 million by 2030. Surely, the commissioning of a tissue culture lab in an agricultural space should prompt our thoughts to think about experimenting with plants, essentially to make this space one of learning. The light and air here at 1 mile is excellent for learning in the laboratory setting in an agriculture space. As the government's person responsible for education reform, think of how much I depend on the success of this agriculture space to produce for the engagement of our students eager to experiment in the gardens at school and in their communities. Clearly, this handing over here today excites me. It should excite us to want to plant and to grow and to sell and to diversify. Keep in mind, too, that collaboration is necessary in the agriculture business. Collaboration is clearly demonstrated here by the development of this lab. After 20 years, the decision for Dominica to partner and share with the People's Republic of China has only brought good to both countries. We say again a heartfelt thank you. And allow me to repeat what I had said at the receiving ceremony for the Dominica China Modern Agricultural Center, Phase 8, on Monday, 5th February. I said then, you should keep in mind that the produce and products emerging from this space are for human consumption and must be cultivated and treated with love. This same principle has to be applied to the tissue culture lab. Keep in mind that this is a modern agricultural center. There's a science behind what is done in this center, which means that much learning has to take place here. A tissue culture lab affords this. Learn from those who have handed you the center, and in this case, this lab, learn from those you will work with in keeping the center and the lab thriving as one of science with its attendant methodologies. Finally, keep in mind that your final produce and products are nourishing, that Dominica is emerging as a country with the better agricultural produce, that your cooperation can make this center and laboratory one of the best places for learning and training others in agriculture. Keep in mind that basically you are agriculture, you are business, exports and imports. You are also learning and training. You are therefore education in an agricultural science environment. Indeed, you are health, wellness and fitness, culture and awareness. You are also contributors to our tourism. Those who come to our shores should eat what is grown here. I am truly excited about the learning and economic possibilities that this tissue culture lab offers at this stage in our agricultural development, given all that is unfolding around us in terms of energy and travel. Again, I and the people of Portsmouth are always delighted when such events are happening here, even though 1 mile is just a bit away from our beautiful town. Welcome to our spaces. May God continue to bless our land and our people. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wenham Shepherd, for this warm welcome. At this time, I am very pleased to welcome to address us His Excellency Xu Maoming, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, and I am happy to welcome you to your first official function after the presentation of your credentials to Dominica. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you, Ms. Chairperson. Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Scarrett. Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly. Honorable Minister Roland Royer, Honorable Felana Wenham Shepherd, Parliamentary Secretary. Other honorable members of the Cabinet. Ms. Corinne Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Ryan Ansom, and other permanent secretaries. The contractor, China Gezhou Ba Group Corporation Limited. Members of the Chinese Agricultural Mission, I should not forget them, particularly the head of the mission. Before I came to Dominica, I read a piece of news about him. I think he's a hit. He's a popular star. I assume he might be more popular than me because I'm a newcomer. I'm brand new here. Father Paul Onibira, other distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is profound honor that I stand before you today to commemorate the commissioning of the Dominica-China Agricultural Science Complex building. This moment represents a significant milestone in the nearly 2 decades of collaborative efforts between China and Dominica in the agricultural sector. In March this year, during the official visit of Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett to China, the national leaders of both countries witnessed the signing of the Intergovernmental Handover Certificate. Today, I feel deeply privileged to join you to witness the formal unveiling of this remarkable edifice. From its inception in July 2022 to its completion in February 2024, the success of the Dominica-China Agricultural Science Complex building stands as a testament to the enduring friendship between our nations, as well as the power of vision, determination, and collaboration. The exchange of notes signed between China and Dominica in 2019 laid the groundwork for this transformative endeavor, showcasing China's steadfast commitment to bolstering Dominica's agricultural sector through robust infrastructure development. This modern facility will serve as a hub for innovation, education, research, and knowledge exchange in the field of agriculture, propelling Dominica towards its aspiration of becoming the global center for agricultural resilience. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to both the Chinese and Dominican leaders and colleagues for their unwavering support and dedication throughout the entire process. From strictly adhering to design and functionality standards to implementing rigorous quality assurance measures during the construction phase, this collaborative endeavor exemplifies our shared pursuit of excellence. I'm also grateful to Dominica for adhering to the One China principle, which is the foundation for all of our cooperation achievements, including this project. The One China principle is a basic principle enshrined in the UNGA Resolution 2758, stated that it decides to restore all its rights to the People's Republic of China and to recognize the representatives of its government as the sole legitimate representatives of China to the United Nations, and to expel forthwith the representatives of Chiang Kai-shek from the place which they unlawfully occupy at the United Nations in all the organizations related to it. This resolution resolved once and for all, politically, legally, and procedurally, the issue of the representation of the whole of China, including Taiwan, at the United Nations. It also made it clear that there can only be one seat representing China at the United Nations, and precluded the possibility of two Chinas or one China, one Taiwan which proves no challenge. We appreciate Dominica for respecting the consensus of the majority of countries in the world, standing on the right side of history and taking an active role in promoting fairness and justice in the international community. Ladies and gentlemen, since the launch of the Agricultural Technical Cooperation Project in 2005, under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, and the guidance of the Ministry for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy of Dominica, remarkable progress has been achieved. Particularly noteworthy is the pivotal role played by the China-Dominica Modern Agricultural Center in introducing high-value crops and disseminating technical expertise on this beautiful island. With the commissioning of this iconic building and the introduction of hydroponic systems, we anticipate a revolutionary transformation in agricultural technologies, enhancing crop production and resilience against pests, thereby benefiting not only Dominica, but neighboring Caribbean nations. I'm fully cognizant that the journey of China-Dominica agricultural cooperation has not been without challenges. Navigating through multiple natural disasters together, the Chinese agricultural experts and their Dominican colleagues have demonstrated an unbreakable, resilient, and tenacious spirit. It is the strength of trust and friendship that has propelled China-Dominica agricultural cooperation into a new era. On this occasion, I commend the Chinese agricultural experts and the Dominican colleagues for their unwavering commitment and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of diplomatic ties between our nations, I take immense pride in the achievements we have made across various sectors, including agriculture, healthcare, education, infrastructure, and people-to-people exchange. The recent successful visit of Honorable Prime Minister to China underscores our shared commitment to deepening bilateral relations. Dominica's steadfast friendship and partnership with China epitomize the essence of South-South cooperation, as emphasized by my President Xi Jinping during Prime Minister's visit. As China's ambassador assuming my role at this historical moment, I am committed to working closely with my Dominican friends to translate our leaders' shared vision into concrete actions and tangible outcomes. Together, let us fortify the bonds of friendship and cooperation for the prosperity and well-being of our two peoples. Please allow me to conclude by expressing my sincere thanks and warmest congratulations to all those who have contributed to the realization of this monumental endeavor. May the Dominica-China Agricultural Science Complex building stand not only as a symbol of progress and innovation, but also as a beacon of hope and enduring friendship between our two nations. I thank you all.
Thank you very much to His Excellency Mao Ming. And again, we wish you a hearty welcome to Dominica, and we look forward to collaborating with you during your service here. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Roland Royer, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, to address you this morning. We know that Honorable Royer is an agriculturist himself and very passionate about this project. Let us welcome Honorable Roland Royer.
Thank you, Capsec. Please let me recognize the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of Dominica, and his wife, Mrs. Skerrit. Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly. Honorable Finella Wenham Shepherd, other cabinet colleagues, Your Excellency Chu Miao Ming, Ms. Karen Privot, PS in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Ryan Anselm, other permanent secretaries, the contracting company, Father Paul, other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you to provide brief remarks at this ceremony, the commissioning of the Dominica, China Agricultural Science Complex. This complex is a significant milestone of the bilateral cooperation between the governments of Dominica and the People's Republic of China. The project stems from a shared commitment to enhancing agricultural technology, training, and collaboration since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. On November 29, 2017, the Economic and Technical Cooperation Agreement was signed, allocating funds for the construction of the Agricultural Science Complex at 1 Mile. Subsequently, an exchange note was signed in 2019, confirming the People's Republic of China's consent to undertake the project as a gift to the Commonwealth of Dominica. The construction commenced with a groundbreaking ceremony in June 2022, followed by the initiation of actual construction in July of the same year, culminating in the completion and acceptance of the building in March 2024, valued at $11,405,061.92. Given that the Ministry of Agriculture is initiating actions to increase the contribution of Dominica's agricultural sector to GDP to $700 million by 2030, the need to invest in science and advanced technology is imperative. This complex has a total floor space of 4,700 square feet and encompasses 3 main areas, namely the tissue culture lab, training and office spaces, and living quarters to house the Chinese agricultural mission. This lab will introduce cutting-edge tissue culture technology to develop disease-free planting material with the capacity to produce 500,000 seedlings annually. This investment will boost government's effort as we seek to rapidly expand on agricultural production of targeted crops. As we build resilience in the sector, we'll now be able to provide high-quality, disease-resistant planting material to farmers and introduce new high-yielding crop varieties that are more tolerant to the impacts of climate change. In our quest to build resilience, we ensure that the lab provides a seed cold storage room, which will be used to establish a national seed bank, which is critical for post-disaster recovery. The complex is also furnished with modern training facilities to build capacity of our farmers and students, equipping them with the necessary knowledge and skills as we work towards the transformation of the agricultural sector. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Agriculture Sector Transformation Roadmap speaks to creating 1 Mile as the center for innovation, technology, and agricultural research. This facility complements our efforts, and you will have observed the massive transformation of the propagation station over the past 6 months. We saw the construction of 2 nursery sheds, and we are currently constructing an additional shed as we make preparations for the hardening of 45,000 tissue culture banana plants and the budding of over 100,000 citrus plants. We are now in the design stage for a new animal and plant health laboratory with adequate space to house research institutions such as CADI, which will also form part of this center. As we are currently planning propagation and distribution plant over the island, we are also making investments in other locations. We will see a further investment of $2.8 million to construct a citrus certification facility at Londonderry, expansion to the propagation station at Laplin, and improvement to the propagation station at Woodfordale. At this point, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to the government of the People's Republic of China for this facility and the support provided to our farmers over the years. The facility will create employment opportunities for 5 key staff, namely a laboratory manager, germplasm technician, a laboratory technician, assistant laboratory technician, and a field technician. And these positions will be advertised as early as next week. The Chinese Agricultural Mission has provided a tissue culture specialist who will be providing training and support to the staff. Finally, I want to assure all farmers that the government will continue to make the necessary investments that are in your best interests. Therefore, you must make use of these investments as we work towards securing food self-reliance and an increase in agricultural food exports. I want to reiterate our ministry's commitment to the sustainable development of the sector, and I would also like to take the opportunity to thank all the staff of the ministry, former and present, the contractor, and the Chinese Technical Mission for making today a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Royer, and thank you very much for your leadership on this project and for this ceremony today. At this time, as we are probably aware, or if you may not be aware, in May of every year we celebrate Domfesta, Dominica Festival of the Arts, and we have been having a number of cultural and festival activities during the month of May. Of course, we just recently celebrated the Jazz and Creole at the Cabrits National Park, which is part of Domfesta. We have a number of other activities planned for this month, and today we are very happy to have a cultural performance by the Pebbles Drummers at this time. So let's welcome them, the Pebbles Drummers, with a cultural performance. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the People's Drummers. At this time, I am very delighted and honored to welcome to address us the architect of our relationship, the relationship between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister and Minister for Investment and Governance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me first of all recognize Honorable Joseph Isaac, the Speaker of our House of Assembly, Honorable Minister Skerrit, Honorable Roland Roy, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Economy, Honorable Dr. Vince Henderson, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Finella Wenham Shepherd, our Paul Rep for Portsmouth, my other cabinet colleagues present, Your Excellency Chu Maoming, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, Ms. Corinne Prevost, the Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Ryan Anselm, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, all the permanent secretaries, Father Paul, who graciously prayed for us, and who I wish to commend publicly for the wonderful work he's doing in leading the shepherd in Portsmouth. And to also say to him that should you ever need an altar server, you can always call on me. Other distinguished guests, and I see some of my former cabinet colleagues present, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, friends all, good morning. I must tell you that I am extremely gratified to be here this morning to witness the formal commissioning of this agricultural science complex. It is a proud moment for us all who championed the construction of this facility as part of our national strategy to modernize our food systems and ensure long-term sustainability of the agricultural sector. I wish again to place on record our deep gratitude to the People's Republic of China for its long-standing support of Dominica's people and economy, particularly in the area of agriculture. Your Excellency Chu Maoming, please allow me to once again extend a warm welcome to you, Dominica. This is your first major event with us, and how fitting it is that you are here to witness the launch of this important initiative. Please convey our most heartfelt regards and gratitude to the leadership of the People's Republic of China. Rest assured, dear Ambassador, of our strong bonds of friendship and our unwavering adherence to the One China principle. I wish also to thank Dr. Sun and his team here at the 1 Mile Chinese Agricultural Technical Mission. To completion. This science complex marks another major milestone in our decades-long relationship with the People's Republic of China and our drive as a government to transform the agricultural economy of our country. In sync with the regional mandate to reduce our food import bill by 25% by 2025, I have made clear our intention to increase the sector's contribution to our country's GDP to $700 million by 2030. With a wide range of key investments in livestock and crop production, increased access to farms, support to farmers, the use of technology, and grants to small agro-processors, I believe we're well on our way to achieving this lofty goal. We're making these strategic investments because we recognize that increases in agricultural output will mean the creation of more sustainable agri-based jobs, higher incomes, and enhanced capacity to satisfy the growing food and nutrition demands of our local, regional, and global populations. We are also intensifying efforts to entice young farmers to the sector to secure the future prosperity of our nation. This new and modern facility takes us nearer to meeting these objectives, as well as the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals of increased access to innovative technologies and viable agri-food systems. By enabling the production of high-quality, disease-resistant seedlings, we will boost the capacity of local farmers to meet demand, improve quality, and increase the competitiveness in the local and regional markets. This will ensure that the backbone of our nation's economy, our agricultural sector, is thriving. The Agricultural Science Complex will also support our goal to ensure that the local food supply chain remains stable and reliable, even with the threat of adverse weather events. I do not have to remind you of the severe impact of weather events on our agricultural systems in recent years, which reminded us of the need for constant innovation in agriculture. Our farmers must keep adapting to extreme climate and weather patterns while finding new ways to increase their yields from the land. This facility is therefore essential in enhancing our climate resilience in the aftermath of heavy rains and floods. I expect that the establishment of a national seed bank will serve as a strategic national resource in post-disaster recovery, as well as with our efforts to diversify our agricultural production and enhance biodiversity. So in the immediate to short term, we are looking at expansion of crop production with the provision of clean planting material and the improved health of our crops island-wide with the elimination of plant viruses. I am especially pleased that now young people with an interest in agriculture and students at all levels of our education system can access enhanced education and training, fostering the next generation of agricultural professionals in our nation. The cutting-edge tissue propagation technology available here means that our agricultural sector is poised to become a leader in science-based production methods in the region. Our local professionals in the Ministry of Agriculture, working with the farmers, can set a standard in agricultural practice which can be emulated and shared with other sister CARICOM nations. I am of the firm view that we should consider propagating seedlings to be sold to our OECS countries, as this is the only facility of its kind in the sub-region. As a matter of fact, we should quite possibly rename this facility the OECS Agricultural Science Complex. If we embrace the opportunities available here, we can reignite the passion and commitment of our farmers and meet our objectives for food and nutrition security over the next 5 years and beyond. I believe we need to immediately place focus on the mass production of key cash crops which can generate income for our farmers. I am talking about bananas, plantains, pineapples, and root crops such as dasheen, tanya, yams, and sweet potatoes, which are always in high demand in the neighboring islands. We must now use the comparative advantage of this facility to increase production and expand our reach to international markets with the wider sale of Dominican products and produce abroad. As you know, I have advocated before for diversification to non-traditional high-value fruits and vegetables such as cantaloupes, strawberry, dragon fruit, blueberry, bell peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, among others. We have the environment for this, the conducive environment for this, and I want us to push in these areas. Our Chinese friends are growing many of these here, as we can see, with ease, and we need to encourage our farmers, especially our newer farmers, to look seriously at these options. I'm also a big proponent of the production of flowers for export, such as anthuriums and orchids. I believe with the construction of the international airport, we will soon have a ready market for our local flowers with same-day delivery to the destinations. This is a niche market we can start preparing for now. Let us not wait for the airport is completed and the opportunities are there and we're not ready to take advantage of them. With all this in mind, my dear friends, there is no doubt that this new facility puts us in a position to revolutionize several aspects of the agricultural sector and use technology to increase efficiency, productivity, and sustainability in our food production. I am proud that we have been able to see this facility through to completion with the steadfast support of our friends and partners of the People's Republic of China. This facility, in my view, takes our collaboration in agriculture to the next level, and I look forward to all that we will accomplish together going forward. I wish to reassure the Dominican people of this government's commitment to the expansion and modernization of the agricultural sector. Dominica is an agricultural country. We have not lost sight of that, and we shall never lose sight of this as a government. You will agree that our extensive investments to return the sector to productivity following the devastating weather events of 2015 and 2017 are the actions of a government that cares about this long-term growth and sustainability. We will continue to implement measures to protect the livelihoods of our growers, fishers, and agro-processors who depend on the sector for the survival and well-being of their families and communities. I urge us all to embrace this new facility as a major milestone in our national efforts to strengthen and develop Dominica's agricultural sector. Let us encourage the full participation of farmers and citizens across Dominica in our collective endeavor to build stronger food systems that are resistant to climate change and economic adversity. Once again, on behalf of the government and people of Dominica, I thank Ambassador Chu and his team and the government of the People's Republic of China for their steadfast support to Dominica and Dominicans, and look forward to great successes here and in other endeavors. May God bless our efforts. May God bless our beautiful country, Dominica.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, for these remarks. At this time, to close up the ceremony and offer a vote of thanks, I would like to invite Mr. Ryan Anselm, Permanent Secretary, acting in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy.
Thank you, Secretary to the Cabinet. I want to say special good morning to everyone. Protocol has been established. I also want to recognize the esteemed presence of the Honorable Prime Minister of Dominica and Mrs. Skerritt, the Ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Chu Mongming. I also want to recognize the Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Vince Henderson, other ministers, my permanent secretary colleagues, welcome. It gives me great pleasure to offer a word of thanks. Gratitude is a must, and I want to take the opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his steadfast vision and leadership and Prime Minister, for your continued championing of the agricultural sector, not only as a diversified farmer, but your support in ensuring that the sector harnesses right. Harness the transformation process in supporting the growth and development of our people and the country. Gratitude and thanks to the Ambassador Chu Mongming for your warm greetings, and Ambassador, welcome to Dominica. And your dedicated team, the Agricultural Mission, Dr. Su and his team. Commendation to you over the years. You have propelled our agricultural sector, empowering the farmers, students, and rural farmers in Dominica. To my minister, Roland Roy, Honorable Roland Roy, a true champion of the agricultural sector, your vision and your leadership has pushed the agricultural sector in realizing the goal set by the Honorable Prime Minister of $700 million by 2030. We are confident with your leadership that we will realize this goal. I also want to thank Father for gracing us with your presence and inviting the Holy Spirit in our midst today. To our Cabinet Secretary, thank you for ably chairing this activity. We thank you, and we thank the Chinese mission for doing a wonderful job. I also want to take a moment to pause and thank the NEP team. And I think I had some little doubts that we would pull out this activity here, and in 1 week, as you can see, beautification, and I want us to applaud the NEP team. Sorry. I also want to thank the parliamentary representative for welcoming us to Portsmouth, and my permanent secretary, other colleagues in the ministry for supporting the technical mission team, Mr. Son, 20 years, probably 2 decades in Dominica. I also want to thank all past permanent secretaries. Dr. Paul, she's there. So I think it's not present, but we also have to acknowledge the work of other permanent secretaries and other ministers that have championed this facility. So once again, I want to thank everyone for coming, and please feel welcome to have some of our watermelon produced right here at the Chinese mission and the technical cooperation just down in 1 mile. So again, thank you everyone, and let us celebrate in this momentous occasion. Thank you again.
And thank you to you, PS, Anselm, and your team for ably putting on this ceremony today. And thank you very much to everybody. I know that it has been very warm, but now we have come to the end of this ceremony. At this time, we are going to have the unveiling of the sign and ribbon cutting by the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Roland Roye, and Ambassador Chu Maoming, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China. So now they will move across to the unveiling of the sign and the ribbon cutting, after which there will be a tour of the facility by the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and the members of Cabinet and Ambassador Maoming. Thank you very much to everyone.
pursuing. Right now, we are going through a walkthrough of the current facility, and we'll be sure to have that shown to you live, as well as all the media houses themselves are making their way throughout the facility here, and ensuring that you get a first-hand view of what is going on behind the scenes, and the new areas of agriculture we are trying to get into as a country. So presently what you are seeing here is the walkthrough, and as you can see, there are a number of people, a number of persons here getting their first-hand views, their sights, as it is a very exciting energy here. You can see various ministers, various members of the public, and not to mention the Peebush drummers setting the tone righteously, giving us our cultural drums. As you know, these are one of the seeds or cultural seeds being planted, and one that we tend to perpetuate. So it's always good to see the youth carrying on that legacy, that culture, as drumming and agriculture go hand in hand with tilling the soil and the heartbeat of nature in itself being something that we are very proud of here in Dominica. If you are now viewing live on our Facebook and YouTube pages, Dominica's broadcasting station on DBS Radio, you will be seeing the Prime Minister leading the charge here as he's walking through with the Ambassador of China, as well as the Chinese people, workers, Dominicans as well. As you know, we tend to emphasize a lot on the collaboration between our local manpower as well as our Chinese counterparts here, our Chinese brethren. And presently, a Dominican employee here is showcasing some of the apparatuses or some of the tools that are used to produce these agricultural products and produce. And he's presently demonstrating, I believe, how, once the camera gets into a better angle, I believe, how sturdy the what is he trying to open here? Is it a fruit? Is it a bottle? What is he trying to do? Well, presently they're trying to open something here, but we're trying to get you a better angle. As you can see here, it's very crowded. Everyone is trying to get in on the action here. And yes, I believe, yes, he's cutting some local produce grown here. As you can see, it's well sturdy. The knife in itself is having a hard time to do it, but as you can see, it's pure organic, 100%. And these are just a sample of what we are growing, or what is to be expected using this new style of agricultural productivity and technology incorporated between Dominica and China. Again, this is the commissioning of the Dominica-China Agriculture Science Complex building. And right now they're going for the walkthrough, and you can clearly see what's going on here. Of course, you've also heard remarks from the Honorable Fenella Wenham, His Excellency Chu Mao Ming, who is the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, Honorable Roland Royer, who is the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Peebush, drummers, and address from the Prime Minister himself here. Right now, they are going through a demonstration of some of the organic produce that are being developed here. The Prime Minister and his wife, as well as his ministers, Miss Honorable Melissa Poppon-Skerritt, of course, who is an avid agriculturist or horticulturist herself here. DBS News team is on the ball, trying our best to get you different angles. We have our tech crew here on the field with us. And a number of persons are also on the outside, just enjoying the view, the scenery, the salubriousness of the area in which we are. A number of plants, a number of trees. It's quite breezy here. Of course, it's been very hot these past few days, but as you know, trees themselves produce cool atmospheric temperatures, as well as producing this oxygen that we need. Forward and off with the tour here. We've now gone into another room where they are showing what else is being developed or what is being manufactured here. This switch off the, yes. So into this new room here, as you can see, it's a bit crowded because everyone is trying to get a piece of the action, trying to get the first sight, first-hand views on the side. You can see here a number of ministers, permanent secretaries in the various ministries, as well as the Chinese ambassador himself, his ambassador with a crew, the prime minister, his wife. We also can see, yes, Miss Lakia Joseph, right next to the Prime Minister. As you know, Lakia is an avid agriculturist herself, and also she produces her own business with using, Dominica's products as well. She has a number of, agricultural products that are available. And she has had that history before entering into the parliamentary arena, into the arena of politics, making a contribution as being one of the youngest ministers here. And yes, so the tour continues. They were just in the washroom where they, I believe, sanitize and clean and organize their produce before they take it onto the stages here. Yes. So feel free actually to go onto our YouTube or Facebook page, the Dominica's broadcasting station here, and you can see the live action. It's a bit crowded because a lot of people are trying to move through the corridors, but at the same time the energy is positive nonetheless. Lots of smiles here. The time now is 11:18 a.m. and we are at the commissioning of the Dominica China Agricultural Science Complex building. Of course, this began at 10 a.m. We are at the North Agricultural Station in 1 Mile, Portsmouth. If you're wondering what location we are now exploring, if you're now tuning in or if you're now viewing, you're now watching the unveiling of the sign and ribbon cutting, or the blessing of the facility, as they would say, as it's a walkthrough of this facility here. We had a number of speakers, we had a number of ministers, as well as His Excellency Chu Mao-ming, Ambassador of the People's Republic to China and the Commonwealth of Dominica. He's the main man walking next to the Prime Minister, if you're looking. I did not quite get the name of the guy who is giving an official tour, but he seems to be, I would make a guess, the site main or chief personnel who oversees some of what is going on here and will be best suited to explain what is going on as well. Trying to give you a bit more of the volume, to give you more of a first-hand realistic view of what's going on here. The visual might be a bit stuck because of the location that they are presently in. We're back on flow here. You can imagine the densities of the walls, the AC, the amount of people here, the personnel themselves are having a look. Might be a bit of an interference, but we're here flowing on stream here at Dominica's broadcasting station. All smiles here. A number of media houses getting their first-hand look onto the matter. Yeah, TBS, GIS, Mr. Curtis Matthew himself on the ball doing his thing. We have Kyrie FM. We have a number of the media houses here. Of course, we encourage all others, to try and share this positive information. But as you know, Dominica's broadcasting station is the number one, right? We also see a number of young Dominican professionals or agriculturists in their suits. If you're viewing blue attires, I believe it's just for sanitary purposes to ensure that everything remains clean, fresh, and pristine, especially if you're doing things for consumption, and to ensure that every step of the way is quite safe and quite clear here. But the walkthrough continues nicely. The Prime Minister, his ministers, as well as just general public and persons who are interested into the agricultural sector, taking agriculture to a new level here. The walk continues. And I must say, based on observance, you can see it's a building that is heavy on its sanitary or its hygienic properties. Right now, the Prime Minister himself is getting coated up as they're about to enter into a new room here. I guess people are encouraged to suit up and wear the proper attire before entering into this next room here. Our tech crew is on the ball, trying their best to give us a good angle to make us feel like we are right here in the facility. You can see a number of persons wiping a bit of the sweat off their faces or off their brows because of the congestive nature of the building. But overall, it's generally a cool place, I can imagine, as you can see here. They are now going into another room here. Yes, everyone is encouraged to wear the proper attire in this particular case. You see the parliamentary representative for the Portsmouth constituency herself getting suited up as well. She too gave excellent remarks and is one that is very proud of the initiative. And this being in the constituency of Portsmouth, as you know, the history of Portsmouth has had a strong history of agriculture, especially during the time of the banana era, the golden days of the bananas. And now they are now modernizing it into a new 2024 era where technology and science and nature and collaboration between countries, Dominica and China, all play a significant role in the agricultural sector here in Dominica as we try to move things forward here. Of course, this is the commissioning of the Dominica-China Agriculture Science Complex building. And as the name indicates, you can imagine it's a complex building with a lot of scientific and agricultural practices and, information and investigation, as well as, research being done here, as stated by the scientists themselves. Okay, as I can see on the door here, it says this is the, so cameraman trying to get a bit closer here. I'm not sure if he's allowed to enter the room without a coat or if he's being coated up as well. Bear with us for the bit of the delay in the visual. As you can see, they are clearly entering into some very secluded, isolated areas. And I believe the less frequency, the less Wi-Fi, radio waves, the less man-made frequencies, better for the plants or the seedlings themselves, so it's only natural. But feel free to relook at this official commissioning of the Dominica-China Friendship Dominica-China Agriculture Science Complex building here. And on behalf of the DBS News Team, Tech Crew, and everyone listening and viewing here, I think this is where we're going to call it a wrap here as the walkthrough continues. Feel free to look at the official commissioning once more on our DBS Facebook and YouTube page. I've been with you here this morning, just giving a bit of an introduction and an outro right now. Hassan Robinson, special thanks to Dean himself, Dean Dada. We also have Mr. Rohan Scarrett himself, Mr. Curtis Matthew, and of course to all those in DBS in the Studio One. We take it over to you right now, and all the viewers and listeners, continue to have yourself a wonderful day.